Hi guys, welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades and I'm here to get you started on Unit 29, the AW pattern with W-A or A-L. Please take a second to gather your materials. You'll need your teal book open to page 179. You'll also need some colorful pens, markers, or crayons. Remember, whatever I mark on my board, you should be marking on your page. Please save room for a key as well. All right, so this is our third week now talking about the AW pattern. We started off 2 weeks ago making AW words using the letter O in words like boss and soft. Last week, we made AW words with the AW or AU chunks in words like straw or fault. Today, we're going to look at two other patterns that give us that AW sound. We're going to look for words that use AL and words that use WA. So let's start by reading our list. As we do, use your eyes to look for the AL or WA chunk and use your ears to listen for that AW sound. Please repeat after me. Also, bald, chalk, scald, stalk, swamp, wand, want, wash, watch. Did you hear that AW sound? Good. Okay, before we do anything else, I want you to notice that all of our words this week are one syllable: bald, chalk, scald, except for our first word, also. Also is a two-syllable word. So what I want to do is I want to take a line and just break it into two syllables, also. As you move on to 3rd and 4th grade, you're going to be doing a lot more of this as you read bigger and bigger words. Okay, let's choose another color and let's look for the words that contain AL. So here we see it in also. Here we see it in bald and chalk. I want you to notice something though. In some of these words, we hear the L, we hear the L in also and bald. But in chalk, that L is silent, just like in walk and talk, right? So keep that in mind. Some of our words will have that L voiced and some of them will not. In the word scald, we hear the L. In the word stalk, we do not hear the L. That's it. Okay, so over here, blue box equals AL chunk, and it is going to either say AW or it will say all, okay? Also, bald and scald, we hear the L. Chalk, stalk, walk, talk, we do not hear the L. Okay, let's choose a second color, and this time we're going to look for that WA pattern. Now, there are some words like wag and wagon where the WA makes a wah sound. But in our language, WA usually says wah in words like want and wand, wash and watch, wall and walk and wallet and water. Okay, so when you see WA, the first sound I want you to try is wah. Okay, even if it has an S before it. So here we see SWA in swamp, but the same thing happens in words like swap and swat and swan. okay? So if you see W-A or S-W-A, I want you to try that wah sound. So in all these words, we have W-A making a wah sound. Does that look right? Wah. Okay. What else do we need to talk about? Oh, one other thing. Because this says swat, as in swamp, that A-M-P is going to have a much different pronunciation than you're used to. That A-M-P is not going to say amp like in lamp or camp. That W is totally messing with the A sound. So just watch for that. Okay. What I'd like to do next is go through our list, talk about the meanings of the words, and as we do, we will figure out their part of speech. So let's start with nouns. Nouns are people, places, things. If you can touch it, if you can draw it, it is a noun. So chalk, you know what that is. You can use chalk to write on the board. You can use chalk to write on the sidewalk. That is a thing. A stalk is the stem of a plant. So that is a noun. You could draw a picture of that. You've probably heard of bean stalks before, or maybe you like to eat celery stalks. It's just the stem of an edible, eatable plant. Okay, a swamp is a noun. That's a muddy, wet place. I'm just gonna write, muddy pond, okay? A wand is a magical stick, right? Like a fairy has a wand, or a witch has a wand, a wizard has a wand. A wash, well, you could use that as a noun if you're talking about a wash, like I gave it a wash, or please take the wash out of the machine. But that's more often used as a verb, so let's skip that. A watch can be a noun if we're talking about something you wear on your wrist. So if we're talking about a timepiece, that is a noun. Okay, so we have lots of nouns this week. So now let's look for adjectives. Those are describing words. They can add some detail to a noun. So for instance, bald is an adjective. If a man's head is bald, it has no hair. Okay, so he put a hat on his bald head. Okay, or he looked bald after his haircut. So see how the word bald is adding detail to it's describing the top of the head. So that is an adjective, or adjective, as I like to spell it. All right, now let's look for verbs. Those are our action words, things we can do. So for instance, scald is a verb. If you scald someone or you get scalded, it means you get burnt. So sometimes if you're cooking spaghetti and you have that pot of hot water, you have to be careful when you pour the water into the sink, because if it splashes on you, it could scald you. If you're giving a baby a bath, you have to make sure the temperature is just right so you don't scald the baby's delicate skin. So that is a verb. Want is a verb, right? It's I want a break. I want a drink. That is something I am doing with my mind. Wash is a verb, right? If you wash your clothes, you wash your hands. It means to clean them with water. Okay. Notice there's one word I haven't talked about yet. Oops. V equals verb. And the word is also. So you know how adjectives add detail to nouns? Adverbs add detail to verbs. So also means two, okay? So I could say, I cleaned my room. I also vacuumed it. I also organized my shelves. I also took a nap. Also is adding detail to my verbs because it's telling things that I did as well. So ADV is adverb. We talked about adverbs a few weeks ago. Remember, we practiced adding ly to words like slowly and boldly. So this is just another adverb that we can add to our list. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about with you very quickly, later in the unit on page 182, you're going to have a little bit of practice with compound words. You're going to have a whole bunch of words in your word bank, and you will have to decide if they are compound words or not compound words. Remember, compound words are two words that are glued together. So I can take the word wash, and I can glue it to the word cloth, and I have a compound word, wash cloth. It's a cloth that washes. This chunk can stand alone, and this chunk can stand alone. So wash cloth is a compound word. Washing is not a compound word because even though wash can stand by itself, ing is not a real word. Okay? If you break it into two pieces and part of it can't stand alone, it is not a compound word. Okay? So keep that in mind when you are sorting your words here. If you can break it into two real words, put it here. If you can't break it into two real words, put it here. All right, that's all I have for you today. Good luck, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.